Dan RadioStyle, hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day. This is a great show on how to speed up our manifestations. Goddard talks about it beautifully, and he also talks about really some of the mistakes that we make. So this is a jam-packed show. There's a cool little technique in here that he shares with us as well that we can help make our imagining better, you know, kind of those imaginal scenes we work through, kind of our focus and our attention. There's a great technique also in here where he kind of helps us strengthen that as well. So very good stuff. This is coming out of the book, The Power of Awareness, of course, out of the Reader. The Power of Awareness. It's chapter 6. It's called Attention. And again, this is really getting into the key thing we do to slow ourselves down. So, by the converse of that, if we stop the handbrake, if we cease putting on the handbrake all the time, we end up speeding up our manifestation. I've said many a time, and I still agree with this, if you're trying to speed things up, it's not going to work. But there are a lot of things we do to slow things down, and by getting rid of the slowing us down things, you actually speed yourself up. That works. So, by refusing to slow down, you speed up. So let's get into it. Attention is forceful in proportion to the narrowness of its focus. That is, when it is obsessed with a single idea or sensation, it is steadied and powerfully focused only by such an adjustment of the mind as permits you to see one thing only. For you steady the attention and increase its power by confining it. The desire which realizes itself is always a desire upon which attention is exclusively concentrated. For an idea is endowed with power only in proportion to the degree of attention. Concentration observation is the attentive attitude directed from some specific end. The attentive attitude involves selection. For when you pay attention, it signifies that you have decided to focus your attention on one object or state rather than on another. What he's talking about, and this is for all of us, when you're trying to manifest something, specific person, relationship, money, new job, house, car, right? And we've got it in our focus, and we focus on it, and we focus on it. Cool, awesome, imaginal scene, great. And then a second later, we focus on something maybe that indicates we don't have it. Maybe we focus on something, how we're in lack. Maybe we focus on something else that's not related to the house, car, income, whatever. By diverting your focus off onto other things, even contrary things, which is the handbrake, by turning your focus from the thing you want and then changing it to something else, you're now kind of getting away from what he's saying. He's saying put your attention on the thing that you would like and really accept nothing else. Now, I'm not saying walk around all day long focused on the thing that you want. No, you've got to live your life. But where we make the mistake is we focus on what's in our world now. A lot of times we see that as fact. And we see the imaginal scenes that we're doing as fiction. So we look at the fact of the world around us and go, well, this isn't happening. Obviously, I'm not creating anything because I don't have it right now. That's not how it works. You don't have it right now because you're creating it. And you create it by focusing on the thing that you would like to create. You don't create something by focusing on the thing you don't have. You focus on the something and you continue to focus on the something until you finally have that something. Period. You don't accept not having it as proof that this doesn't work. You focus on the thing until you have it. Then you're going to have your proof, mind you. That'll be your proof. You'd be like, well, yeah, I focused on it. And then like 3 weeks later, I had it. So let's continue. Therefore, when you know what you want, you must deliberately focus your attention on the feeling of the wish fulfilled until that feeling fills the mind and crowds out all other ideas of consciousness. This is something he repeats frequently, at least in this book. In The Power of Awareness, frequently talks about you keep focusing on it until you've got that feeling of the wish fulfilled. You keep that feeling going until it's so strong, no other feelings persist. As I was talking about on the live show I did, you've got to keep going for it. You can't accept people telling you no. You can't say, oh, it's going to be too difficult. I can't, no. No, you've got to keep going towards it. Is this something you're going to create and have? Then have it. It's your decision. Follow it. Get it. Go to it. It's yours to get. The power of attention is the measure of your inner force. Concentrated observation of one thing shuts out other things and causes them to disappear. The great secret of success is to focus the attention on the feeling of the wish fulfilled without permitting any distractions. Huh? Right. All progress depends upon an increase of attention. The ideas which impel you to action are those which dominate the consciousness, those which possess the attention. The idea which excludes all others from field of attention discharges an action. Meaning, when we are so focused on the thing that we're going to accomplish, on the thing that we're creating, all other things start to drift aside. You don't notice them because your focus is so laser pinpointed on the thing in front of you that you don't notice the stuff that's flying by. It's kind of like when you're driving and you're the driver, right? And you've got that silly passenger that keeps pointing out all the great stuff all over the place, right? They're sightseeing. They're like, wow, neat tree. Wow, cool car. Wow, did you see the truck? Did you see oh my God, look at that building over there. You're like, I'm trying to focus on the road. Yeah. No, thanks for pointing out all this other stuff that I'm missing right now. But normally when I drive, I'm not sightseeing. I'm not, hey, look at that. Hey, look at that. Hey, look, right? And you run into the person in front of you. Can't do that. Got to stay focused on where you're going, and you don't notice all the crap. You don't notice the fact that it's not here yet. Or you don't notice the fact that, I don't know, so-and-so got a promotion. Great, good for you. That's all right. I'm still going for that job. That job's mine. I'm going to take it. I'm going to make it. It's mine. So you keep that focus going. This is one thing I do, forgetting those things that are behind. I press towards the mark, right? Who cares what's happening right now, or behind meaning even right now? If you don't have it right now, no big deal. You will. That's why we're doing manifestation. That's why we're doing this. So I don't ever see, people do it all the time, and I frequently say, I don't care what your now is. I don't care what your now is. I don't care if there's a third party. I don't care if someone else just got the job. I don't care. It doesn't matter because it doesn't matter. You're creating your outcome. You stay focused on your outcome. You keep driving towards your destination. Yeah, you might stop seeing all the crap. You might stop seeing how Johnny just got the job, or how Rachel and Joseph are dating now too. Right? You're focused on your goal, your specific person and you being together, or you're now doing this new job, or you're now driving this new car, or you're now pulling your car into this new house. That's your focus. Stay on that focus. Nothing else matters. This means this one thing can do, forgetting those things that are behind you. You can press towards the mark of filling your mind with the feeling of the wish fulfilled. To be unenlightened man, this will seem to be all fantasy. Yet all progress comes from those who do not take the accepted view, nor accept the world as it is. Yet all who progress comes from those who do not take the accepted view, nor accept the world as it is. There's the unenlightened that will just say, nah, this is coincidence. There's those of us that know this works, and we don't accept what we see in our current reality as any more real than what I'm creating. Because what I'm creating will become real. And what is real right now is what I'm changing. They're both real. There's no less reality to one or the other. The difference is I don't focus on the thing I don't like. I focus on the thing I do like. So I get that into my life, and it replaces the thing I don't like. So you want to get rid of the thing you don't like, focus on the replacement. The replacement will push it aside, right? Until you're living in the wish fulfilled, and the feeling is so real it pushes all other thoughts out of your mind. Same thing. It's identical. I let the thing replace what it is I'm not happy about. Your imagination is you yourself, and the world, as your imagination sees it, is the real world. A lot of people get that backwards. Major handbrake. They look at the real world and go, I don't have it, so obviously this doesn't work. Not true. You don't have it probably because you keep noticing how you don't have it. You don't have it because you've probably got some doubts about whether or not this can happen. You don't have it because maybe you don't believe in yourself. You don't have it maybe because self-love needs to kind of spend a little more time inside of you, and you need to reevaluate what it is you're trying to create. There's more to this than I just don't have it right now. No, you can have this. This is yours to have. We are being reminded, certainly by Goddard, that this is power within ourselves, that we are allowed to experience this, that this is something that is our birthright. We were born with this power inside of us, and it is that power that does the creation. When you set out to master the movements of attention, which must be done if you would successfully alter the course of observed events, it is then you realize how little control you exercise over your imagination and how much of it is dominated by sensory impressions and by a drifting on the tides of idle moods. What he is saying here is when you finally wrestle the attention away from all the things that distract us, when you finally say, no, think here, Dan. Blah, 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 blah. I know that's on TV right now. Oh, I know someone's posting on Instagram. Oh, I know there's a great video game I want to play right now. Whatever your distraction is. Oh, I know there's a third party. Oh, I know someone else is applying for the job. It doesn't matter. It's when we try to wrestle our attention away from all the distractions that occur in our life. Some of them are there by design, marketing, TV, right? All that kind of nonsense. But it really is when you focus it away, you realize how often your focus gets pulled back to other things. Handbrake, major handbrake. You want to speed up, pay attention to your focus. It might be hard. I know you're going to go, oh, but it's hard. I know. But this is when you realize how often we sabotage ourselves. It is at the moment when you start to play with your focus that you realize, crap, my focus is hard to keep. And you practice with it. Again, bitchin' technique coming. Spoiler alert. There's an awesome technique for how can I work on my attention. Stay tuned. Oh, maybe we're here. To aid in mastering the control of your attention, practice this exercise. Did I talk about this in advance? Did I foreshadow this? Maybe. Night after night, just before you drift off to sleep, strive to hold your attention on the activities of the day in reverse order. Focus your attention on the last thing you did, that is, getting into bed, and then move it backward in time over the events until you reach the first event of the day, getting out of bed. This is no easy exercise, but just as specific exercises greatly help in developing specific muscles, this will greatly help in developing the muscle of your attention. Before you go to bed, think of all the things that you did in the day. It forces you to look at the moments. It forces you to hold your attention on a specific thing. Yes, when you first start this, your attention's going to drift into all sorts of, oh, I didn't buy that thing today I was supposed to. Oh, I should have bought laundry detergent. Oh my God, I forgot to go say hi to so-and-so when I was at the mall. I don't know. Things are going to pop into your head. Get yourself back on focus. It's kind of the same thing as when we meditate, right? We think about our breathing. And then sometimes it's like, well, but Pollyanna didn't want to do that. No. That's okay. Back to breathing. Stay focused on where you're at. Stay focused on the attention. Focus your attention. That's why meditation's key. It helps us focus our attention on something that doesn't matter. Now, in this case, you're focusing your attention on something that's more applicable to your life. Certainly give you a chance to play through the day. Give you a chance to tie in being grateful for things that happen through the day. Like there's a lot of good things that can come from this. And then if you want, you can kind of finish off with what would I like to see tomorrow be once you kind of finish going through the day and practicing your attention. Your attention must be developed, controlled, and concentrated in order to change your concept of yourself successfully and thereby change your future. Imagination is able to do anything, but only according to the internal direction of your attention. If you persist night after night, sooner or later you will awaken in yourself a center of power and become conscious of your greater self, the real you, truly. The greater self is the real you. The part of you that manifests is the real you. The part of you that deserves all the great stuff in life is the real you. Not this suffering is great version of you. No. You're not supposed to suffer. I mean, you're going to have some of it in life. It's just part of life. But that's not what we're here to do. No, we're here to enjoy. We're here to live. We're here to create. We're here to manifest. And we're here to interact with other people and souls and make a difference, right? We're here for all of these wonderful things. Attention is developed by repeated exercise or habit. Through habit, an action becomes easier and so, in course of time, gives rise to the facility or faculty, which can then put to higher use. Essentially, practice. I'm not good at this. I know, it's okay. It's okay. You're going to get better at this. I sucked at karate when I first started. Or I sucked at radio when I first started. I sucked at coding when I first started. I sucked at YouTube. God, watch some of my first videos. They're horrible. I sucked at all this stuff when I first started. I got better. I'm not the best, and I'll tell you what, talk to me in 5 years. I should be even better. You're going to get better at this. That's the plan. That's the hope. That is how things work. You suck at it at first, and then with practice, you get better. And with a bunch of practice and a few successes, you become an expert. And that is when life really, really starts to take off. When you attain control of the internal direction of your attention, you will no longer stand in shallow waters, but will launch out into the deep of life. You will walk in the assumption of the wish fulfilled as on a foundation more solid even than earth. Meaning, when you finally get this, when you finally understand the attention and you can focus your attention and you start to see things happening in your life, you no longer question it like so many people. At that point, you know, you have a confidence. And all you know you need to do is hold the thought, feel the feelings of the wish fulfilled, and start walking towards that destination, period. That really is it. Manifestation's not difficult. It's not challenging. What is the difficult part is, again, holding our attention on something, not getting distracted by all the places where it seems like it's not happening. Who cares if it seems like it's not happening? Stay focused on the prize. I think a reason a lot of people stop seeing signs that indicate they're on their way is because you've stopped focusing on the end result. You've stopped feeling it. You've gotten yourself more into a place where you're like, well, I want to see a sign to show me this. I want to see a sign to show me that. I want you to show me a sign to see this. You're no longer focusing on the end result. Now you're asking for signs. And so some of your signs are getting weird, or maybe you've stopped asking for signs, so now you're not seeing anything, and you're confused. It's not because you're necessarily doing anything wrong, but you're not necessarily doing it right either. Focus on the thing you'd like to go to. Focus, put your attention, see it. Imagine it. Get yourself to where you can feel it like it's true. What would it be like if it's true? How would I feel if I had this? What would be different? Yes, grateful. And it is a good feeling place. If you have nothing else to go through, then yes, I am grateful for what this is going to be. But really what Goddard's talking about, and really what I think is more true, is getting yourself to that place where you feel like I have it. And that can be challenging. I've talked about it before. What does it feel like to have $1 million in the bank? I don't personally know right now. But I do know what it's like to have many thousands of dollars in the bank, and that feels wonderful. And so I use that kind of feeling to expand it. And I've said it before for those that are trying to manifest money. You can just put aside a few bucks, 20 bucks a day, or 50 bucks a week, or whatever you can afford. Do that for a few weeks. Put it in someplace. Put it in an envelope, shove it in your closet, whatever. Put it someplace. Put it in your, hide 100 in your wallet, whatever you got to do. But it is amazing how it feels when you know you have money in your name. Like, I know I have money. When I feel that and see that, I can start to understand what it's like. And then the other side of it, obviously, if you want to understand things that you don't currently have, who are you hanging out with? Are you hanging out with anybody that's successful? Are you hanging out with anybody that's got money? Are you hanging out with anyone that's good at the thing that you want to accomplish? Is it a relationship you're after? Do you have friends that have been in relationships for a long time? Do you know people that have been in relationships for 30 plus years? Have people like this around. Hang out with them. Ask them questions. See how they act. See how they feel. See how they behave. From that, you can learn a lot. And oftentimes, that can be the difference. Spending a little time with people that are doing the thing that you're trying to accomplish will teach you more about what you're trying to accomplish than just trying to airy-fairy make it up. So there's a lot of techniques we can use, but one of the biggest ones that we use to defeat ourselves is constantly doubting that this works, constantly focusing on what's not happening, constantly noticing the things that aren't a benefit to ourselves, constantly shifting our attention off to something that doesn't matter. What is it that matters? Hold your attention. The one other thing that's really important on this to point out talks about not splitting your attention. So a lot of people are going to honestly ask the question, well, if I'm imagining multiple scenes, am I splitting my attention? And I'm going to say no. If you're imagining multiple scenes and the scenes still indicate that you and your person are together, then yes, you're doing fine. If your manifestation's maybe a little more short-sighted, and so maybe you're trying to manifest a first date, maybe you're trying to manifest a text message, maybe you're trying to manifest bumping into them, well, those are three kind of sort of different areas that don't necessarily have to mix and match. So by trying to manifest all three of those things that don't really connect, you kind of are splitting your attention. Focus on one of them, get that to happen, and then move from there. But don't try to split your manifestation into things that don't interact. Again, if you've got a final scene, which is you and your person being together, or you and your person being married, or you and your like something like that, great. If it's in the case of the second one I just brought up, if you want to date them, then focus on that first date. Focus on a couple dates. Focus on maybe a couple different restaurants that you can see yourself having dinner with. Don't worry about the text message. Don't worry about bumping into them. That's going to happen. That will be middle ground for the fact that you're going to go on a date. Don't worry about the other crap. Focus on the end result. Live in that wish fulfilled. What's it going to feel like when you're on that date? Can you imagine how nervous you're going to be the night of that date and how fun that's going to be with the butterflies? And be like, oh my God, I'm so nervous. I got to pee again. Oh, geez. Right? Like the whole day. It's going to be rad. Look forward to that wonderful day. You're going to love it. And your whole life will change before your eyes. Dan Radio Style.